Hey, hey! Welcome to Module 4. I cannot believe that we are almost a month into the semester already. Totally crazy. So thank you for the feedback on the videos. I'm very glad to know that you're finding them helpful and that you are watching. So I'll keep them coming for y'all. Before I get into the meat of this video, I do have a quick announcement about my availability this week. I will be offline and away from my computer from Wednesday until Saturday to celebrate my birthday. I will try to hop online maybe once every other day-ish to check my email, but I just can't guarantee that I'm gonna have a ton of time. So if you do have any questions about the assignments for this week, please shoot me an email or a message before Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, I'll get back to you as soon as possible, either on Sunday or when I can check my email. So definitely appreciate your flexibility with me there. So the previous modules have been focused on researching the product, the competitive landscape, and really narrowing in on your target audience. I hope you now have a really clear picture in your mind about who exactly you'd like to sell your product to. And again, that was the point of creating the buyer persona. And that buyer persona is just meant to be an embodiment, aka an example of the demographics and the psychographics for the broader group of people that you'd like to target. And this helps a lot because it allows you to narrow in on specifics rather than make generalizations. So I'd really like to touch on the human truth, or what can be referred to as an insight, since this can be a really tricky thing to nail down. It's not super logical, it's a little bit more based off of like emotion. I am expecting you to settle on one this week when you make your creative brief. Now, a human truth is exactly what it sounds like. It's something that's so universally true, almost everyone could agree on it. And usually they're super simple, but still are able to connect with something deep inside us that is just undeniably true. So what's an example of that? What does that even mean, right? Okay, consider Nike's famous slogan, just do it. What do you think the human truth or the insight is behind that line? Well, it's most likely something along the lines of, we all dream of greatness, but procrastination gets in the way. Here's a more recent example. My best friend actually sent these new ads to me. They're from McDonald's. She sent them last night, and I think they're so funny. And I'm going to use my super basic iMovie skills to flash these up beside me. So this first one, a Mig back Congo, please. And then you have a bubble caught a panda in a cloak. And ferret oh fish extra tata. And all of these sign off with the tagline, we speak late night. Now, I think these work really well, and this is all my opinion, because they're based on a really great insight, a really great human truth. Now, McDonald's probably did some research into its stores and saw one of their busiest times of the day was after 2 a.m. when the bars close. And instead of just doing some lame, obvious campaign like, get your late night fix or something equally stupid, they instead actually took the time and looked at who were the people that were coming in during those hours. Doing that probably allowed them to realize that it was most likely, 20 to 30 somethings who, after a long night of partying and clubbing and bar hopping or whatever, they needed something greasy in their tummy to prevent that hangover. And so they end up at the fast food counter thinking they're asking for a Big Mac combo, but some slurry mess comes out instead. And because McDonald's did their due diligence and really researched and dug deeper into that spike of activity late at night, they found that human truth that it could inspire an ad and makes people think like, McDonald's gets it. The ad doesn't really shove their product down your throat with its words or the copy. It builds an emotional connection. It makes you laugh and go, oh, I've been there. And this week, when you move into building your own creative brief by synthesizing the research you've done to date, I really want you to focus on nailing that human truth. And I've included a few links below this video in this announcement to help you if you get stuck. Just a little bit of extra reading on human truths and why they're so important to creative work. Now, in a typical agency setting, you wouldn't be making the brief or even really writing the human truth or the insight. It's going to be provided to you by the strategy and the account team, and then you as a creative, the designer, would go and execute against that. However, it's really important for you to know what goes into making a great brief and finding that awesome human truth, because these elements set the stage for great creative work. You're not always going to get a really good creative brief or even an insight that you can work against. So sometimes you might have to find it yourself. So if you have this, again, super uninspiring brief with a basic human truth that gives you nothing to work with or doesn't help you get the creative juices flowing, then you've got no momentum at the beginning of a project, and that can be really detrimental down the line. So a great brief, the brief that you're going to write, should spark inspiration right away. It should make you go, whoa, I didn't know that, or I've never thought about it that way. It should do this by surfacing super interesting facts about the brand, product, and people behind them. And it should be inspiring by the way that it frames the creative challenge. And like I mentioned before, it should have a kick-ass human truth that immediately gets your mind racing with the creative possibilities. So I'm really excited to see what you put together. I know that you're going to do great and make an awesome creative brief that's going to get me excited about the creative possibilities. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.